So, the developers of Minecraft hosted Minecon Live this past Saturday, and oh my god, the update has been announced, and it is massive. This is the single-handed biggest update coming to the game that we will ever see. Now, in this video, this might be pretty long, we're going to be going over a lot of things, so let's get into it. First off, I want to say thank you for everyone who attended the live stream that I held on Saturday, the watch party, where we all watched the new update. And before we get into this, the mob vote, Glow Squid won. We did it. A lot of people are mad that we didn't get the Moo Bloom, but the Moo Bloom would not do anything. The Moo Bloom would just be friends with B, while the Glow Squid would actually draw you in with its glow, which would make it an actual interesting mob. So I voted Glow Squid, so that's the results we got. But the new Minecraft update is the Cave and Cliffs update. So let's go ahead and without further ado, take a look at the new update, which is the Cave and Cliffs update. There is a lot to go over. We have new ores, we have new cave biomes, we have freaking new blocks and 2 new mobs. Freaking archaeology is coming to the game. So let's go ahead and watch this.
Hi, Agnes and Brandon.
Hello.
So this is where they basically introduce it.
So, okay. The next update is the update that we know that so many of you, and well, so many of us as well, has been wanting for such a long time.
This is basically them giving it away.
The Caves and Cliffs update.
This is the difference between good and bad developers. These developers listen. Fortnite doesn't. Take a hint, Fortnite. Listen to your frickin' community. So
It must feel amazing to be able to tell everyone that.
Seriously, like, I'm so excited.
This guy right here wearing the green hoodie, or shirt, so dumb. He actually works for Minecraft now. He was beforehand, if you remember, Minecraft Aether mod. This guy made this mod, the Aether, which is a sky biome, which is a sky dimension. This was one of the most classic Minecraft mods to ever exist. Like, this is when it was a big mod. So as you can see, the portal here, it's glowstone, and then you could get to here. It was basically heaven. And this guy made that, and he works for Mojang now. So when you look at, like, the lush caves here in a second, you get a very aetherist vibe.
Underground.
So you can see this new tree. It's an azalea tree. This is the only way you can get into the caves, by the way. And then you just, oh, look at this. So you get different, we got new vines, new blocks. That tree in the back you could actually pick up and move. And it's called, it's a spore source block, so that's really cool. So yeah, they just describe it a little bit here, the drip leaf plant. And now we get to the biggest, what in my opinion is what everyone wanted. Finally, we get improved cave generation. Finally.
You've also worked on improving the cave generation.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, so as you can see here, I mean, this is drastically different.
This is
from
what
caves used to look
everybody
like.
wanted.
And there's definitely still the old style of caves, but we wanted to make sure that there was much more variety in the sort of caves.
And now there's underwater pools, so now you need like aqua infinity and breathing to go under here.
You could get. And even here, you can see that there's some water underground.
Yes. So we actually added something we call local water levels. So in one cave you might find like a cave lake, and another cave might
Oh, the
not
cave
have that
sounds
one.
are going to be even
And this
worse.
also
My question is, are they going to update the abandoned mine shafts?
means
Could
that
we
get
figuratively
naturally generated waterfalls,
get in
which
these
is so pretty.
massive
And
rooms?
it also kind of gives like new ways
Like-
to traverse
like over here, could we have a big old mine shaft going through? Because now you can raft
The underground.
in here.
You can actually go cave rafting.
Yeah,
That's
so you'll
lot.
see in a bit that our player
Yeah,
here,
like, can we get a big underground mine shaft, like, where we get things pulled from the top? Like, it's like an abandoned village, but it was mainly a mining village, and they had a trail to another village, maybe, and it's a dead village, and there's an abandoned mine shaft here, and the ores are glowing, and it's only preview purposes. Ores won't glow. They say that after, but
will actually
this is
use a
so
boat to
cool.
raft. And that is just such an exciting opportunity to be able to traverse the caves in a very different way than you used to.
Yeah, we were playtesting, and then one of the devs like,
Yeah, this looks like the Farlands, if you know Minecraft Far. If you look, it looks a lot like this, the Farlands. These are, so, the Farlands are this, basically. This is only in, like, 1.15. You can only get to the Farlands. And now there's something called the world border. But once you got to a certain point in the world would stop generating. The code would screw up. And this giant mountainous wall of terrain would be around you. If you remember in, story mode. Yeah, if you look, you actually, in the game, you go to the Farlands. And this is where the one character, Igor, whatever his name is, he lives in the Farlands. And there's a whole chapter about the
look
Farlands,
at this,
which
it's
is
so
cool.
fun, and all of us just started to go with the boat on the waterfalls. It was a lot of fun.
I am, like, if you know, like, on YouTube, if you go to Ethos Lab, if you go to his, world tour, I totally spelt that wrong, by the way. If you look, his house is in a cave. I cannot wait to see what he does with this big open space that they're gonna give us. Because now, you only need to trim the blocks that are in the middle. You don't have to clear out a massive area. You could drain all this water and dig out the blocks. It's gonna be really good for building.
To note here is that you could see that a lot of the ores were actually glowing. This is just for preview purposes.
Yeah. And then we got dripstone caves.
Yes, so we have the
with
drip date,
stalactites
the image
and
of stalagmites
stalagmites
comes into my head. But adding these are pretty difficult. You know, it's a very unique shape that Minecraft isn't really accustomed to. But
and actually, these are water source blocks. So if you put a cauldron underneath a stalactite or a stalactite, it will fill up with water, and it's a water source. Now, this is the biggest part of this update. Mark my words, this update is going to change Minecraft forever. There's no going back once this is released. So we have a new block called the Skulk Sensors and Skulk Growth. And this is basically wireless redstone. This block can pick up vibrations and send it to other Skulk sensors. And what they didn't realize with developing this was a complete development mistake. You can actually make wireless redstone paths with the Skulk stuff.
One of the blocks is called the Skulk
And
Sensor.
if you look on the Last of Us zombies cordyceps, if you look at the zombies from The Last of Us, if you look at them, they have this big fungal growth on their head. I know I don't like talk about zombie video games much, but there's this big old fungal growth. Like this, is this not like the Rat King? That's like concept art. This is like a bloater. But this is the Rat King. But if you look, it looks a lot like that. You can see those growths.
This is if you have footsteps, well, infinite loop where the piston is causing a vibration and then it's activating the skulk sensor and going over and over again. But here, I've actually put a wall block in between the piston, which prevents the signal from going to the skulk sensor. This can allow you to even do sort of directional skulk sensors where you can put and vibrations can be foot.
And another thing, we actually wireless redstone.
Look, this is what it is.
The skulk sensor.
Boom.
Yes.
So, and we didn't even plan to add it, but then when we started
Yeah, it was
playtesting-
a complete development mistake, but now it's really cool. Now we get into the first ever mob that is going to be added in this update. This is the Warden. Now, this looks like a bloater from The Last of Us. In this, again, I think this is developed by the guy who made the Aether, because if you remember, in the Aether, you had big creatures like this, so we can... Let's watch. This is... And they're saying they want to bring back the first night of Minecraft feel, where everything's out to get you. And this is horrifying. This is like... Mark my words, when this update comes out, there's going to be a video where I'm going to try to challenge a Warden. And if you watch Minecraft mod pack videos, like if you go to YouTube, how to turn Minecraft into a zombie apocalypse by this guy, Asian Half Squat.
Hey guys, welcome back
He does really great mod reviews and mod packs. So he made this zombie mod. This is what it now feels like to play with the new stuff that's coming out. Oh yeah, and he also increased the movement of zombies. So yeah, he wanted, you heard that shriek out in the darkness, he wanted that to be that fear. And this, like, from that thumbnail, you see how to turn Minecraft into a truly terrifying game? This is literally what they did. And this is why the Minecraft developers are amazing developers. They actually listen to the community on what they want. So if you look, when you place a torch down, the lights, they dim in. Now, at first, this looks like a very big and long tunnel. It almost made me think of a bobbit worm in a way, if you've ever heard of bobbit worms. But let's continue watching. So you're hopping along. They're also adding little candles. Oh my god, and the music that's going to come with this. Yeah, the candles dim. So it's truly terrifying. So as you can see, he's trying to go for some loot here. And he's got some barrels and stuff. And then he turns. If this person turns. There it is. And also, a thing you need to note, the person who's recording it, the guy in the green, the shirt, he, in this clip, is wearing full netherite armor. Netherite. And watch what damage it does. How overpowered this is. As you can see. Now, another thing you need to know is that the Warden, it's blind. The Warden can't see. It picks you up with the vibrations if you watch. See, the little sound wave went to his antlers, and he's like, oh wait, what's over here? He walks over and checks what's going on. It's gonna be really hard to get out. Now he's gonna shoot him. And then he kind of reaches out and he tries to grab you. So watch what damage this guy does. Boom! Look at that. He did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 hearts of damage on full netherite armor. This guy will one-hit you with nothing. With iron armor, this guy can one-hit you. And that's scary. Maybe you'll be left with like half a heart left. That is scary. And in full netherite, he can two-shot you.
What?
He can two-shot you in full-on netherite. So now we've got, like, they're adding amethyst, as you can see. And then they're adding telescopes to the game. They're adding copper. Copper isn't that big. The lightning rod. Bundles are pretty big, though. Bundles are the poor man's version of a shulker box. So, they're saying this is going to be really good for trading. So you could have, say you have like a town on a server and you have a marketplace and people run these stalls. Maybe you can have bundles of the day. I know on Hermitcraft they have, there are games where you can win randomized loot from shulker boxes. So I know Grian in Season 6, he did DSD, which is dig straight down. And then you could bring it, like, bring all the stuff up and put it in a shulker box and keep going. So, bundles are a new version of shulker box. We don't know how we're going to get them, though. And they could fit a stack of items, which is actually really, really nice. So you could fit half and half of a certain item. So, it's really nice for when you're traveling. So, just a little bit of the art team. Now, the new archaeology system.
All throughout your world.
You can actually find new places where you can take a brush. And this looks like a mod. This looks like a mod, by the way. But you can dig out
some of the rubble
stuff
that may have collapsed in those structures. And sometimes you might even find something shiny inside them. But, and this is important, if you are not careful enough, like in real life, you can destroy that artifact. And when that artifact is gone, that artifact and all the secrets it held are gone forever.
So you've got to take your time with this. And also, they're adding fragments of clay. And now when you go over here, you can put them in like paintings and on your find. But we can now make big old clay pots.
Pieces, right? And here we see those pieces connected in a clay pot, actually trying to reconstruct them back. And you can create that wherever, however you like. You can create your own stories or try to guess how those pieces used to connect.
Yeah. It's also so fun to be very creative with these new pots because you can put the shards in any way you want.
And now you can burn them and then you'll get
this
actual clay pots, which is actually really cool. And then the final thing is we're getting axolotls, which if you don't know, axolotls are actually real animals, and they're like the cutest thing on the planet. They're the cutest, ugliest thing on this planet. They're that. They're like salamanders, but they're not. So, yeah, that is basically it for the update. Mark my words when I say this. This update is going to change Minecraft forever. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one.